he believed in, he didn't believe that there was any such thing as excess. He said, I am excess. You are.
Kathleen Turner emerged as one of Hollywood's most magnetic forces during the 1980s. Her sultry voice and commanding screen presence redefining what leading ladies could accomplish in an industry dominated by male perspectives. From her breakout performance in Body Heat to her iconic roles in Romancing the Stone and Peggy Sue Got Married, Turner carved out territory as both sex symbol and serious dramatic performer, refusing to be confined by traditional feminine archetypes. Behind the smoky glamour and Oscar nominations, however, existed a fiercely independent artist whose uncompromising vision frequently collided with Hollywood's established power structures and male ego-driven hierarchies. Turner's journey through the entertainment elite revealed an industry uncomfortable with women who demanded equal creative input and refused to accept secondary status in their own vehicles. Her theatrical background and feminist consciousness created expectations for collaborative respect that many male co-stars found threatening or unnecessary, leading to explosive confrontations that transcended simple personality conflicts. These weren't petty disputes between temperamental celebrities, but fundamental battles over creative authority and professional dignity in an environment designed to marginalize strong female voices. Turner's encounters with 6 particular actors exposed the deeper currents of sexism and insecurity that defined 1980s Hollywood, where her success and outspoken nature challenged comfortable assumptions about women's roles, both on screen and behind the scenes.
I'm angry at inequality. I'm angry at women being treated as lesser human beings.
Her hatred for these performers reflected broader frustrations with an industry that simultaneously celebrated and constrained her revolutionary approach to female stardom. 6. Steve Guttenberg. The romantic adventure. Cocoon, in 1985, briefly paired Kathleen Turner with Steve Guttenberg in what should have been a straightforward supporting collaboration. Yet their limited interaction revealed fundamental differences in professional approach and artistic seriousness that highlighted Turner's growing frustration with Hollywood's preference for lightweight leading men over substantial dramatic performers. Guttenberg's casual attitude toward character development and script analysis conflicted immediately with Turner's intensive preparation methods and intellectual curiosity about her role's thematic significance. Steve would show up and wing it while Kathleen arrived with detailed character biographies, observed director Ron Howard. His reliance on natural charm rather than studied craft irritated Turner's belief in respecting the collaborative process. The tension escalated when Guttenberg's improvisational additions began undermining the carefully balanced tone that Turner had worked to establish through rigorous script study. Her attempts to discuss character motivation and narrative consistency were met with Guttenberg's deflecting humor and resistance to analytical exploration that she viewed as fundamental professional responsibility. Turner's frustration peaked when Guttenberg's box office appeal secured him continued leading roles while more talented performers struggled for recognition and substantial parts. His success represented everything she found objectionable about Hollywood's commercial priorities over artistic merit and meaningful storytelling. 5. Tom Selleck. The emergence of Tom Selleck as television's premier leading man during Turner's peak film years created professional tensions that reflected broader industry dynamics about star power, critical respect, and the hierarchy between film and television prestige. Selleck's magnum PI, success and subsequent movie career represented the kind of effortless masculine appeal that Turner found both commercially threatening and artistically shallow. Turner's observations of Selleck's transition from television to theatrical releases reinforced her belief that Hollywood systematically rewarded conventional attractiveness and safe choices, while demanding exceptional talent and risk-taking from female performers. Tom could coast on charisma, while women had to prove themselves constantly, Turner observed to industry friends. His comfortable relationship with studio executives highlighted gender disparities in career management and opportunity. Their encounters at industry functions revealed Selleck's casual assumption of male privilege and his apparent comfort with traditional gender roles that Turner had spent her career challenging. His dismissive attitude toward her feminist perspectives and professional equality concerns reflected the broader masculine resistance to changing power dynamics within entertainment hierarchies. The philosophical divide deepened when Turner recognized that Celich's success came without the intense scrutiny and career limitations that female stars faced regarding age, appearance, and acceptable behavior. His ability to maintain leading man status through multiple decades while women faced mandatory retirement after brief peaks infuriated Turner's sense of professional justice. 4. Mel Gibson. The collision between Kathleen Turner's feminist consciousness and Mel Gibson's traditional masculine worldview during the height of their respective 1980s careers created ideological warfare that extended far beyond professional disagreement into fundamental conflicts about women's roles in entertainment and society. Gibson's action hero persona and conservative perspectives represented everything Turner found regressive about Hollywood's masculine culture. Turner's growing political awareness and advocacy for women's rights conflicted directly with Gibson's apparent comfort with traditional gender hierarchies and his resistance to female empowerment themes in mainstream entertainment. Mel treated strong women like threats to natural order, Turner observed to colleagues. His success in violent action films, while female-driven projects struggled for funding, highlighted systemic inequities that infuriated her sense of artistic justice. Their few industry encounters revealed Gibson's discomfort with Turner's outspoken nature and her refusal to conform to acceptable feminine behavior standards. His preference for traditional leading lady types who supported rather than challenged male protagonists conflicted with Turner's determination to create complex, independent female characters who drove their own narratives. The professional animosity intensified when Gibson's box office dominance and critical acclaim came through roles that often depicted women as victims or romantic accessories, reinforcing cultural stereotypes that Turner had dedicated her career to dismantling. His international success with films that marginalized female perspectives represented missed opportunities for more progressive storytelling. 3. Warren Beatty. The legendary reputation of Warren Beatty as Hollywood's ultimate player and power broker created immediate friction with Kathleen Turner's determination to control her own career trajectory and resist the industry's tendency to reduce accomplished actresses to romantic conquests. Beatty's notorious history with leading ladies and his producer influence represented everything Turner found manipulative about masculine authority in the entertainment business. Turner's encounters with Beatty revealed his expectation that female co-stars would be grateful for his attention and guidance, an assumption that conflicted violently with her independent nature and established success. Warren assumed every actress wanted his mentorship and more, Turner later revealed in interviews. His condescending approach to professional relationships infuriated her sense of equality and mutual respect. The tension escalated when Beatty's reputation for romantic involvement with co-stars created uncomfortable dynamics that Turner refused to navigate according to his established patterns. Her rejection of his advances and dismissal of his industry influence challenged his comfortable assumptions about feminine availability and professional hierarchy within his projects. Turner's contempt for Beatty embodied her broader resistance to Hollywood's boys' club mentality and its reduction of talented women to supporting players in masculine fantasy narratives. Viewing his career as representative of everything that prevented authentic female voices from achieving equal creative recognition and substantial artistic opportunities.
And I read the script and went crazy. I just loved it immediately. So she set up a meeting with Larry Kasdan.
2. William Hurt. The psychological intensity required for Body Heat brought Kathleen Turner into intimate collaboration with William Hurt, whose method acting approach and emotional manipulation techniques created a toxic working environment that extended their characters' destructive relationship into real-life professional harassment. Hurt's inability to separate performance from personal interaction made Turner's breakthrough role a grueling endurance test. Hurt's insistence on staying partially in character between takes created uncomfortable dynamics that Turner found unprofessional and invasive, particularly during their numerous intimate scenes. William would maintain this predatory energy even during lunch breaks, Turner revealed years later. His refusal to establish clear boundaries between dramatic intensity and personal respect violated her expectations for professional collaboration. The situation deteriorated when Hertz's suggestions for character development consistently positioned Turner's femme fatale as reactive rather than driving the narrative, despite her central role in the film's plot mechanics. His attempts to diminish her character's agency through subtle script modifications reflected deeper issues with strong female protagonists that challenged traditional masculine authority. Turner's frustration peaked when Hertz's critical acclaim for the film overshadowed her breakthrough performance. Despite her character's complexity and narrative centrality, industry reviews that praised his discovery of Turner while minimizing her independent contribution highlighted systemic problems with crediting female achievement in collaborative artistic projects. 1. Michael Douglas. The evolution from professional partnership to bitter animosity between Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas across multiple collaborations represents one of Hollywood's most dramatic relationship deteriorations, spanning from their initial chemistry in Romancing the Stone through their devastating finale in The War of the Roses. What began as successful romantic pairing devolved into barely concealed hostility that transformed their final project into an exercise in mutual destruction. Douglas's increasing demands for creative control and his producer authority over their shared projects created power imbalances that frustrated Turner's expectations for equal creative input and collaborative respect. Michael began treating me like his employee instead of his partner, Turner revealed in later interviews. His tendency to micromanage her performance choices while demanding complete freedom for his own creative decisions exposed fundamental issues with masculine authority and female autonomy. The ideological warfare extended beyond character interpretation into fundamental disagreements about gender representation and power dynamics, both on-screen and behind the camera. Turner's insistence on maintaining her character's strength and independence conflicted with Douglas's preference for traditional relationship hierarchies that position women as supporting players in masculine narratives. Their personal relationships' deterioration became inseparable from professional tensions, when Douglas's off-camera behavior began reflecting his character's controlling tendencies. Turner's growing feminist consciousness and advocacy for women's rights conflicted with his comfortable assumption of male privilege and resistance to changing industry dynamics. The final destruction of their partnership during the War of the Roses production became legendary among cast and crew, with both actors channeling genuine animosity into their divorce drama performances. They weren't acting anymore, director Danny DeVito later revealed. That was real hatred you were watching on screen. These battles revealed Turner's pioneering fight against Hollywood's masculine power structures and gender inequality. Her uncompromising stance, while creating enemies, expanded opportunities for strong female performers and independent women in entertainment. Subscribe for more stories about Hollywood's most fearless trailblazers.